Let's imagine you are a time traveler coming from the 80s. You arrive in 2020 and you realize the world is very different. And worse, your time machine is broken. But it doesn't matter anyway because, travel restrictions are everywhere, including time travel. So now, just like a lot of people, you need to find a job. But the offices are closed, and the traditional jobs from back in the 80s are in decline anyway. So now all you have are things you can find in home: a chair, desk, and a laptop. You've heard about this digital economy, but how can someone who have not had to find a job for decades understand this thing called digital?
Wow, Ed, this story reminds me to Marty McFly, right? It's Marty McFly arriving to our time now, 2020.
Martin, that's a good idea. I don't know where you got that from.
Okay, so as I say, one of the first problems when Marty arrives to this world is that he doesn't know where to start. So many things
Mm.
have changed so rapidly. So where should he focus? What do you think?
That's interesting. So that reminds me of your book, isn't it? Your
Mhm.
digital reinvention. So you and I spoke about how to find insights and trends and all of that. Remember, we spoke about looking at it from an inside out and an outside in view. Do you remember that?
Exactly, that's right. That's what you talked about. And if I remember, like inside out is where you identify what you already know, what you love to do, what you are good at, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so Marty McFly, that's a good example. So, Inside Out, we know that he loves music. He plays really good guitar at a moment's notice, as we saw in the movies, and he's also very good with hoverboards. So maybe we can look at these sort of two things and analyze how he can how he can apply that to the digital world, right?
Great. And so the question will be, how can he leverage all that he knows in the digital world? I think that's where the look outside in view comes in, like looking at the trends, which tools are available.
Exactly. So, thinking of music, he can create music. Look at how easy it is to create digital content. We are just doing it now, right? Exactly now. And there are, for example, platforms for music out there where you can collaborate. So Martin can put the guitar, and then he can ask the community to add the drums, the bass, etc., and he can then put the lead sing out there. So that's one thing, and then he can self-publish, right? And by the way, I imagine that that's been the case for your book as well, right? Which is another media. So really, when you start looking at these things, you start understanding that there is maybe a way to, first of all, get something that is interesting for the people out there, and potentially monetize or get a career out of that.
Exactly. So what we could recommend then as conclusion to Marty or to anybody watching us is that it's very important to look at the current trends and find the inspiration and look at your passion and area of expertise. For example, try to identify the combination of 2 or 4 topics that in isolation are good, but that in combination make you unique. So for example, this can be a mix of your sector, of your background, which could be HR, for example, something that you are good at, like public speaking, your passion, well-being, and one of these digital trends like big data, AI. So can you leverage all this in a unique proposition? And can you solve other people's problems like consumers, business, hiring managers by applying these skills? So I think, Ed, what we have to do is a new more videos where we can explain these digital concepts to Marty McFly or to whoever wants to get up to speed fast in digital topics.
Sound like a great idea. I look
Let's
forward
do
to it.
that.
So now, thinking about this now, I think what we should be telling Marty is just don't catch COVID-19 and go back to 1985, right?
Actually, that's more important maybe than the digital concepts.
Because that will really affect the space-time continuum.
Exactly.